Hey, it's Brent here with First International Bank and Trust. Hope you're doing well. I just wanted to talk today for a couple of minutes about home values and what history can maybe show us on what to expect, regardless of what we're hearing, maybe in the local media or what you've heard from some others on home values. So, a lot of talk about maybe a real estate crash or recession leading to a bubble being burst with real estate. And that's not necessarily been the case for most recession periods and in history. So, wanted to highlight just a few things and try to keep this very quick and brief. But wanted to look at a couple of different statistics. And first one on there being home values and what happens during a recession or after a recession with home values, at least historically. Obviously, can't predict the future, but we can look at the past to see what's happened before. So, if you look at this slide here, you can see the different periods that the U.S. was in a recession and what that looked like for home values and where they have gone throughout that recessionary period. And then the years after. So you can see right after a little bit of a bump on each of those. And then the outlier being the 2008 crash, housing crash, really didn't cause home values to drop. It was more of mortgage lending at that time was a lot more, I would say, lenient, probably reckless would be a better word, where a lot more folks were qualifying for homes than maybe should have at that period. So there was a lot of buyers that probably shouldn't have been in homes that were, and that's what led to the housing crash, not necessarily the recession itself. And then you can see most recently in 2020 and what's happened since that. And even looking back at 2008, when things went down, we've obviously recovered from that and realized some gains on home prices since then. So I thought that was interesting. Next slide here. Something I wanted to show you was the amount of inventory or homes for sale. Looking back at the peak in 2007, before the housing crash, there were 3.7 million homes on the market there. And currently, this stat's a few months old here, but 870,000. So you can see a $3 million difference in available properties for sale. And supply and demand would tell us that that's obviously a big deal. And then looking at the number of households in the U.S. right now, back in 2007, there were 116 million homes or households, excuse me. And in 2021, we had just under 130 million. So 14 million more households in the country, 3 million fewer homes for sale. So basic economic supply and demand. We obviously know that the demand is strong and is probably going to remain strong regardless of some other indicators. So last slide I wanted to show you was just the number of homes that were built and completed in the years up to the 2007, 2008. In the orange color there, you can see all the homes that were built. After the housing crash of 08, there were a lot fewer builders in the market and a lot fewer homes built for like that next decade. And you can see demand and housing growth has increased over the last 10 years or so. And the number of homes being built has still not kept up with that. Household growth is expected to remain strong for this year and for next as well. So not really saying that we can predict the future, but the one thing that we obviously do know is that a lot of the negative storylines tend to sell advertising and make the news stories. And history does not necessarily support that with what we've seen in the past. So a lot of counter arguments for it as well. I'd love to know your thoughts on that. Maybe put it in the comments. And if you know anyone that is looking to purchase a home, but maybe has put it on hold because they think home prices might drop, you might want to share this with them just to get another perspective and to get some of the data in front of them there. So if we can help out at all, reach out. We'd be happy to help you out with walking through some scenarios. And hopefully you found this information helpful. Have a great day.